let's just sew whatever.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to make a clear Lauren bag. I previously released a video of how to cut one out, and in this video we are sewing it up. So fun. I used a frosted jelly vinyl and added this extra little connector here. I'm so excited I haven't even riveted my handles on. And then on the inside we added a little slip pocket that you could put your phone into. And you could duplicate that on the other side of the bag if you wanted, or add them all over, or you could even like actually add a lining and then still do this like bound method on top. It's just a little piece of vinyl. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get started. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited you're here to join me in sewing up the clear Lauren bag. Clear has been such a trend right now, so I'm excited to have a little action in it. So I'm starting off by sewing these little connectors. This is an 8" by 2" strip of vinyl that I just sewed in, or folded in half. And I'm just going to top stitch along the long edges. And then I'm going to trim this into 2" pieces. Doesn't have to be super perfect. Stuff is so satisfying to cut. You know what it reminds me of? This is going to make it sound unappealing. Did anybody ever make bookmarks on the top of your pencil keeper with like markers and then Elmer's glue? This feels like Elmer's glue dried. Yeah, it's unappealing now. It's fun though. It's popular. Okay, so on each one of these I'm going to add a simple square ring, but on one I'm going to add this D-ring too. Might be a bit much, but I just thought it would be fun to have a little place to hang keychains. So I am going to sew the bottom of each one of these shut. This is the first time I'm making this bag, so if I mess up, it's fine. And I am just sewing one after the other, but back stitching as I start each new one, and then I'll just trim these apart. I do want to be careful when I add the one with a D-ring to make sure that the D-ring is on top and the square ring is in the back. Okay, I'm going to baste my lining and my exterior together. Am I? I am. I am going to do that. But I thought it would be fun to top stitch on the bottom in like an accent way. So I'm going to tape this in place because things are going to shift, I have no doubt. But I was thinking I'm going to mark out like 1" in and top stitch that. So that like I'm really sandwiching those layers together. So my stitch length is at 4.5 for all of this. So then I'm just going to tie those threads off and melt it. Okay, so there is my bottom. Well, my bag's bottom. It's not my bottom. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to set my binding aside for now, and I'm going to work on the little slip pocket. I really just want to get all of the little bits out of the way before I put this all together. Oop, gonna add a woven label. Seriously, haven't sat here to sew in what feels like forever, so it feels really good to just kind of sew creatively. I'm going to fold that up and top stitch the sides of that. Oh my gosh, it's a little crooked, but it's so cute. I could always trim it straight, but it might still look crooked. Set that aside. These are my handles. Here is my spout. I'm gonna do the handles. Because I'll be sad if I don't. So I'm just folding to the center line I created at the cutting table. And then folding in half and sewing all four sides. And then hoping I don't run out of bobbin thread. But it sounds like I might. Okay. Okay, just folding the long raw edge up to create my handle. And then folding that in half. All right, now those are ready for the end, and we're ready to put it all together. All right. Alrighty then. Let's see. So I want to add my handle, my strap connectors. 5 inches by 1.5. No, 5 by 2. No, 6 by 2. Yeah. I'm gonna make a mark 6 by 2. Just a 1-inch line. So 2 inches down from the top and 5 inches in, but it's from 5 to 6 that I'm making that mark. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's my 6. There's my 2. So I'm measuring 2 by 6 and then I'm making a line. Ugh. Sorry, hard to show it on the camera. It's even harder because it's clear vinyl. Okay. So just double check. My mark is 5 inches in, 5 inches in. And this is where I'm going to lay the connector down and baste it on above the line I've already sewn. Okay, so raw edge of my strap connector is literally just lined up. I can still see that. And I'm basting right above the stitching I've already done, because I don't want to sew through that again and risk perforating. And you're going to see that on the inside, so if you're worried about seeing those stitches, maybe don't do this, or add something over top, but I don't think it's that serious. I really don't. Okay. And then this piece here is just going to get laid over top and then top stitched over those connectors. I think it's going to look so fun. I'm jazzed, y'all. And this is going to be placed probably 1.75 from the top. Like maybe 1.5. 1.5 sounds good. Let's see what that is from the bottom. Well, no. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Then press that down. So most machines shouldn't have a problem getting close to the hardware, but I might have trouble when I get to this piece. But like, look how satisfying that is. You got a little doodad there. And then another great way to add like a metal nameplate would be right here if you were going to do that. And I have a thin foot on my 1181 right now. So that's really helping me get super close to the hardware. I'm going to pull this one up and out of the way so it's not an issue. And I am finishing off sewing the end because this is a raw edged bag, so I'm sewing the entire square. Cute. Alright, and then we'll repeat that on the other side. And then we do it again. Okay, so to reiterate, 2 inches, laying my ruler 2 by 6, making a mark at the 1 inch line, because then that is 2 inches down, 5 inches over. Oop. Laying my connector right up against it and sewing this into place above my basting stitch. I have Dream Street playing through my head. I don't know if you know that song. I don't even know who sings it. Is it Aaron Carter? Happens every time when I see you. It happens every time. Oh, it's magic when we meet. It might help if I center it. Can you not? Okay. And I don't trust my bobbin at this point, nor should I have. Yeah, that wouldn't have gotten me very far. Well, it might have. Not far enough, though. We'll just see you later, bobbin. I have another one here. Hopefully it doesn't give me issues. Okay. It's time to put it together, y'all. Nameplate, name tag. I have this one from Heartwood and Hide. I want to add one, but I'm scared. I'm so scared. Yeah, let's do it there. Sometimes I think I'd like a different shape other than like just a rectangle, but I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Oh, is that backwards? Yeah, that was backwards. So I'm just going to center that within that little band. This is the guide for your tag. You can have them make. They're so cool because you just add those 4 little dots and then you line this up with the corners and they should like just overlay your markings and it's centered. I'm going to use a 4 stitch length because this is a thicker leather tag. These are some of the first ones that I ever got from Jade, and they are hand painted with like glitter. They're just truly a work of art. She's incredible. And you want to make sure with the leather that you don't skip, like, don't make extra holes. Did it. Luckily, I'm using a light enough thread that you're not going to see this. Okay, now we're ready to put it together. Okay, so I'm going to start with my bottom panel. You gotta be so careful with these clear bags because you see the lining. Like, the point is it's unlined. Oh God. This notebook fell. And this is supposed to be top stitched, but I think I'm gonna skip it. No, I can't top stitch that. I think I'm gonna skip top stitching. I don't trust it right now, so I won't do it. I was like, oh no, I sewed it the wrong way. No, I was meant to do that. Okay, cool. All right, so this becomes lining. I'm lining up side seam there. Hand said nope. So it is hard because there's very little structure. And I've added so much weight, but maybe when you put stuff inside, it'll help. I'm pretty much doing a 1/2 inch wide seam allowance. What's cool about the frosted vinyl is like you totally could still add lining to this and you could totally still bind the top, you know. Okay, and I'm just gonna fold the side seam open. You would be able to top stitch that side too if you wanted. You could lay this flat and like either top stitch it on one side or butterfly that seam open. Okay, I'm gonna sew the bottom. In this, you don't really want to sew the entire length. You just want to sew from seam to seam. So I think if I had done it from this side, you'd see a little bit easier, but I sewed from stitch line to stitch line. Repeat that on the other side. And make sure you create that like crisp corner for your bag. The reason I sewed it from this direction is so I could flatten this seam and it wouldn't shift. So I'm just going to repeat that on this side. Again, stitch line to stitch line. Basically, I'm stopping before I stitch down that fold. Hopefully, yeah, you can see that. Oh boy. That's so cool. Yeah, I don't think I want to trim any of that down because you're not going to see any ugliness because we added the pretty vinyl. Ooh. You might be able to like strategically trim that, but I'm not going to worry about it. It still feels okay structurally. So I'm going to go ahead and add my pocket and my binding now. So I think I want the pocket to be on this side, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it centered and baste it into place, because I'm going to cover this with the binding. And honestly, you could use jelly vinyl, regular vinyl, you could use actual binding, but I think the vinyl is going to look really nice. And I'm just going to add the 3/4 inch wide tape so that there's like little to no shifting. And now I know I'm going to have some excess, so I'm not going to tape like the entire thing. And then don't untape the whole thing, just tape a little bit at a time. And then pick where you want to start your fold over edge. I think I'm going to do it on the corner. Okay. Probably should have marked out my center, but I didn't. That's okay. Yeah, that's not centered. That's okay though. That just means I'm gonna like sew it closer to the top edge. And I'm okay with that. So I need to flatten this seam and fold that down. So yeah. I think you could probably even do 2 layers and just overlap, like do an 18 and an 18 and overlap them on the sides, or like a 19 and a 19 to be safe. So even though I'm using double-sided tape, I do still need clips to hold all those layers together, but the tape will make sure nothing shifts. Oh my god, look at that. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. Okay, so I need to get a better spot. You may not be able to see, so I'm gonna probably stop the video, but it'll be easier for me to fold this over in my lap. Two things in the trash. Oh my gosh, there's 3 clips in here. They're perfectly good clips. Why are they in the trash? Okay. Now here we are at the very end. So I'm gonna cut this at an angle, I think. Was that the right thing to do? I don't know. I think you can like do whatever you want. Real? I don't love that. I think I could just end it a little bit overlapped. Or I've seen people like put them together and finish it off so there is no raw edge. Okay, but it looks awful on this side. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna do this side first. And just be careful that your stitches don't come undone as you're maneuvering all of that. Okay. So I'm lining up on that side and then folding it over to match. Okay, that's much better. We like that. I'm gonna fix this because the rest of it looks really good and this part was just a little too uneven for my liking. But that's what's nice about the double-sided tape, is you can just kind of reposition. Alright, I've got my stitch length set to 4.5 and we're ready to top stitch. Yeah, I would mark out your center line on that binding and then make sure you're lining up just below it and then folding over. The reason I say just below your center line is you want to account for the bulk of what you're folding over top of. But I think we did okay. So now it's time to turn it out. Oh, I love how I thought I was done with the bag. I still have to add the handles. It's fine. So easy to turn. Ooh la la. So make sure you press out those corners. They look very nice. There's the bottom of the bag. And then here's our little slip pocket that we added. I think it looks so good. Okay, so there's the bag. We just need to rivet on the handles and then it's done. I think the handles are going to be a little bit much for it, especially since they're like regular double fold vinyl handles. I think vinyl or webbing might be a little better suited, and you could just sew that onto the bag and then put that overlay on top, and that would look really nice. I love how floppy it is. You could also add a zipper panel over top of all of that, and that would look really good. I love the extra little D-ring. You could do that to any bag, and it would be such a cute accent. But here it is with the handles on. Oh my gosh. It's super cute. You could have an absolute blast with this. I love the lining. Like, you can see the interfacing, but if you bought this bag and you don't make bags, you wouldn't know that was the interfacing for the bottom. But yeah, I'm gonna rivet these handles on, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this fun little tutorial of making a clear Lauren bag. I'll see y'all later. Bye.